All right, Star Wars fans, welcome back to coverage of the San Diego Open, day two. Um, so the format for this was a little different than usual. They were playing 10 games over 2 days, so 6 yesterday and 4 today. So we're on game 8 now. We've got table 8, which is going to be Brett Bailey playing dark against Chris Wirfs playing light. Um, had the labels wrong here, so bear with me just a second. Okay. Okay, so we're getting set up here. Looks like um, Wirfs has gone with, I believe, the same deck he played yesterday, Watch Your Step. We had him on yesterday for that on the mainstream. Meanwhile, Brett appears to be on Routier Operations, and it looks like he has a traditional one. I know we covered the Nines build on the mainstream yesterday, but you can see over on the right he's got Arrest Order, Imperial Arrest Order, Secret Plans combo, and Endor Shield V on top of what I presume is the Insignificant Rebellion Virtual. All of those kind of standard setup stuff for Routier Operations. He's got the Routier system up there, so should be an interesting matchup. These gentlemen are on table 5. As I said before, though, because of how big how many rounds this tournament is and the number of players in it, I don't know what the table number tells us about whether these two players are in contention or not. So we'll have to see. I know there are prizes for sticking it out, though. The PC has tried to do whatever they could here to try to encourage players not to drop from the event. 2 players had to, personal reasons. Other stuff came up, but we didn't have any of the drops that were of the well, I'm bored and I don't want to do this anymore. So, all right, we're starting off here. Looks like Brett has pulled Admiral Ozzel with Endor Shield and Grand Admiral Thrawn Virtual. So this would be the Thrawn that can be used as a general on the ground. I assume Admiral Piet must be in hand, because typically what you'd see is Ozzel and Piet as the starting pulls here. Our camera is slightly off angle, but we will make do. Hopefully Chris won't put too many things on the bottom of his plate area. Sorry about that. Huh. So we have an executor docking bay with the arrest order. And a spaceport site. I believe that's the prefect's office. It is very hard to tell. It's 2 cards, I think, face up over there. I presume near Brett's hand. I don't know why they're face up or what they are. I don't think that should go there. Yeah, there you go. He's putting his starting interrupt under his shield effect. Yeah, there's Piet. And Ariadu, planet pulled by Moment of Triumph, and Dasan. Okay, so probably he had pulled the system in Dasan. That's what they were. It was a pretty standard setup and standard start for Routier Operations. Nothing too crazy yet. Saves a force and passes. A number of good grabs here for Routier Operations against Watch Your Step. Control Tunnel Vision is a good one. All Wings, Dark Lighter Spin combo is a good one. It could be worse, also a possibility. So, lots of options. Wirfs gets his Corellia V system. I'm sorry, I said table 5 before. They're actually a table 8. Not sure what I was looking at. That is a Falcon, Millennium Falcon, probably virtual. And Chris is going to get the Mos Eisley virtual as well, the Reflections 2 site to go along with the Falcon. And he's pulling Han Solo, the, I can't remember what virtual set it does now, but the Solo set Han. Got our Tatooine sites arranged correctly now. And using squadron assignments, Han and the Falcon are going to go to Corellia. I was going to say, I think that's too much force, but that's because he added... Is that Mara Jade? I believe that's Mara Jade. And they're going to move to Tatooine. It's a pretty reasonable start by Chris as well, getting his activation out and his sight in his system, and then getting some smugglers out to get things going. Put some pressure on Brett to pull battle order to stop the drain, although it is a drain of 1, so he might just take it. Yeah, creating some more space on the table. ROPSv against Watch Your Step is going to have quite a few locations on table. We're moving Tatooine around a little so that we can more accurately separate the Tatooine sites from the Raltier sites. Put the system in the middle. Okay. So Brett has pulled the Spaceport Docking Bay and the Spaceport Street to go on Raltier. I didn't see, I was distracted by Chris moving Tatooine around. I didn't see if there was a shuttle pulled. Emperor Shuttle and Vader Shuttle are the ones that would be played in this deck. Emperor Shuttle is usually the... there it is. Doing slightly out of order, but doesn't really change anything. So now we'll see what Brett wants to do here. The big objective for Raltier operations is going to be to flip kind of as soon as possible, so they can start doing additional battle destiny against Watch Your Step. And the deck is usually full of fairly cheap Imperials to make that happen. It's just a question of what's the combination that we're going to use here. So very likely we're going to see Piet and Desan transport over to the Spaceport Docking Bay. I believe that's Thrawn. Yep, that's Thrawn. Going to be at the Prefect's office, where he adds a power and forfeit to all the Imperials. We got some door prizes handed out, or attendance prizes, however we want to call them. And then we have Ozzel. There's Grand Inquisitor. Okay, that's a good one. So the other one. Okay, so that will give him ability to draw Destiny on all the sites. He can just transport them over, draw a couple of cards. Yeah, pretty good start. Pretty good start here. Maybe he wants to do something else first. Nope, he will just transport over, flip his objective, and we'll see if he pulls battle plan. Is he not? Oh, okay. He's just moving his piles around. Okay. Chris moving them forward so they're on screen. All right, Brett's going to draw some cards here. And pass. Okay, so pretty stable position for Brett. He's got a good presence, but also kind of a minimal presence on Raltier. You really want to avoid like committing aggressive characters you want to use in attacks. It's best if you can avoid committing those to Raltier, and try to hold it with things like the Grand Inquisitor, which in this matchup there's really only Luke, maybe Obi-Wan, but most likely just Luke to use the Grand Inquisitor for aggressively. Looks like Brett is pulling the Useless Gesture V. That is the anti-Watch Your Step shield, the one that stacks interrupts when played from lost. One of the strongest things about Raltier operations, about Watch Your Step, is getting to play interrupts from lost once they are flipped. And he does pull Battle Order as well. So the Chris will have to pay. He won't get a free drain of 1. it is an interesting choice here because it's not unreasonable for Brett to have decided to just eat the drain of one in exchange for getting 3 drains of one for free, where he's putting the pressure back on Chris to spend his shield pull on battle plan. So the battle order battle plan mind game is something that I really enjoy, even though it matters very little. So Chris is resolving a control tunnel vision. He's doing a force pile pull, trying to get a card out. Brett decides not to grab it. Now, control tunnel vision, as I said before, is one of the cards you might want to grab out of Watch Your Step, just to limit the number of uses they get out of it. It's a very powerful tool in Watch Your Step with the ability to play Interruption Lost and the retrieval that Watch Your Step often has access to. We know that Chris yesterday played Tatooine Celebration, and this is a matchup where Tatooine Celebration could certainly come up. It's not too difficult for Watch Your Step to stack up the Cantina with a lot of stuff so that Routes Your Operation just can't punch through it. That is certainly a possibility. Spreading is going to be a little challenging because ROPS does have the ability to attack in a lot of different places if you're too lightly deployed. But one thing that ROPS will have a hard time doing against Watch Your Step is taking the Tatooine system. Because the Tatooine system limiting battle destiny is one of the strongest space tools that ROPS has, is that Emperor shuttle, and that will not be effective at all, the Tatooine system. So Chris is taking this card, he's spending some force here, probably not on a drain of one, it's probably going to be to play something. Oh, alright, I must be wrong. It must not have been Mara Jade on the Falcon. Maybe it was Kira. Kira is another reasonable one. Alright, so we're getting a use pile pull with Mara Jade and flipping the objective, which I think was already on its 7th side. It's reading the effect that gets the use pile pull. Really strong card that just recently got added for Watch Your Step. This is I Must Be Allowed to Speak and Smuggler's Blues, the combo card. So that's what allowed Chris to pull the Reflections 2 location, the Mos Eisley Virtual. It also makes ROPS unable to cancel or modify force drains at Battlegrounds, where Chris has 2 smugglers. You know, that occurs to me that that's another... Oh, okay. So, 2 things here. One, Chris just grabbed Masterful Move combo, which Brett played to get Gick. That tells me that Chris has Celebration on his agenda as a plan here. Chris notably did not play the Kessel system before he flipped, so he now cannot pull it, but he probably has it. But not wanting to give that system away before Brett deploys to space. So the other thing that I just realized was because Brett flipped his objective, there was actually no need for him to pull battle order. So maybe a slightly inefficient use of his shield pulls here. Obviously now Chris will be able to drain for 1 at the Tatooine system for free, but he couldn't have done that on his last control phase. So Brett didn't actually need to pull that shield there. Alright, now we got the Emperor shuttle going to Ariadu, which is where ROPS wants to put it. To probably for an Emperor, yeah, because Chris pulled his Goldenrod shield to make the free cost 2. So now ROPS has a lead in the damage race. Chris is going to be able to do 2 damage in drains on his turn, but is going to eat 5 back if he doesn't do anything. And Admiral Osla going aboard the Emperor shuttle as well, so that he gets 2 destinies in space and the option to play Imperial Command. Must Be Allowed to Speak is going to trigger off of Corrin, Mirax, or Talon card. Or Mara, which already triggered. That is Merrick Steele, I believe. So actually, Merrick Steele is going to be piloting. Big thing there that is that Merrick Steele prevents Lightside from substituting Destiny draws. So getting around command, getting around a card being pulled off of one of the sand effects, that sort of thing. And then Brett's kind of considering his other options here. I don't know what Chris is pointing to here. What? Okay, I don't know what just happened. Was it maybe that... Oh. I think what might have happened is that Brett forgot that he was supposed to activate one more. Okay, now he's just drawing. I'm a little confused about what happened there, but... The players are satisfied with the fix, so... Chris is going to activate. That is a Death Squadron Assignments Virtual to go get a card with Death Squadron in lore. So often a Star Destroyer, possibly a Walker. There is Blizzard 8 and Markan and Blizzard 6. Blizzard 8, okay. To go with General Veers, who's very common in these decks as well. Looks like we have an ad from Joe's stream. Okay. And he will lose that card to the drain. I'm not too sure why the Moment of Triumph got placed out of play then, but... And loses a Decree non-virtual at the top. I don't think that matters. Lightside doesn't have a lot of drain bonuses. They have the one at Kessel, but Darkside can cover that with resistance, so... Okay, and then we're using the Pulsar Skate with Squadron Assignments to pull either Mirax or Wedge. Hopefully Wedge. Chris would probably prefer it to be Wedge, because then he can deploy it to Corellia. I can't see what character it is on top. I guess we'll probably see in a moment. Oh, that's Mirax, so he's going to pay one more to deploy her to Tatooine and get a use pop pull. It's reasonable. And while Chris is deciding what he's going to pull here, if you like the decks that you see, you want to take your shot at playing them, you can leverage the greatest Star Wars CCG deck building minds by accessing our tournament deck list posts. Deck lists from both day 1 and day 2 will be made available within about a week from the end of the event, and they'll be posted online. That'll be at starwarsccg.org. Just hover over the deck lists and click tournament deck lists to see deck lists posted from our recent major events. There'll also be importable files for GIMP that'll be available on the forums for players to download and use as well. Roughly the same timeline, I think, for those to be deployed, or for to be posted. I do not know what card that is that's next to Mirax there. We may not get to know. Like Chris is taking it into hand. Oh, you know what? That was probably a Walkling use. And he adds a character, probably Wedge, to the Pulsar Skate. Wouldn't surprise me to see him going over to Route here, actually. Oh, adds Corrin to Mos Eisley to get another use pull. So he's got the Talon card, one left. And I suspect that Corrin will be going into the Cantina here with the move. And he's probably deploying here. So probably Walkling pulled Tatooine Celebration would be my guess. And then Tatooine Celebration will be going down to the Tatooine system. And this is why Chris grabbed Masterful Move, because his plan is to just sit on Celebration. I would guess he probably has projections to cover up some of the drains on route here. I don't know what he plans to do about the Emperor Shuttle drain. I know the deck does have, or often has, Menace Fades. I believe he had Menace Fades yesterday. Oh, there's Talon Card. Chris had a lot of force this turn. Let's see how much. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 14, 15, 16, I think. Yeah, this I think is what I was talking about before. Chris is, I think, going to just move everybody to the Cantina, have a ton of forfeit, 2 Battle Destinies, just make it really hard. Oh, and there's Menace Fades. So, yep, that's going to take care of the Ariadu drain, make it only a drain of 1. Save him a damage every turn. There's Kessel. And there's a Kessel Run. So Kessel Run Virtual, one of the retrieval engines of Watch Your Step. It's going to draw to a total of 13. So that's 7, and that is 13. Wow. Unlike yesterday, Chris has taken the short way to Kessel this time. Yesterday, I think it was like 5 cards. 2 is obviously the best you can do, but these decks don't often play a 7. So 3 is pretty good. It was a Jedi Levitation V. He's going to play Celebration before he moves. So yeah, Chris has also got himself set up pretty well. So we'll have to see how Brett's able to counteract this line. Chris moving the Falcon over to Kessel to do the Kessel Run. He didn't Kessel Run. He needs to. That's a thing that needs to happen. Let's see if we can get... I'm going to see if we can get a stop on that. So, Chris realized it. So he's going to do the Kessel Run. Put a card back and used. Okay. Chris loses an extra Kessel Run to one of the drains. So now the Falcon is the ideal ship to be there because the Falcon will be able to, or rather Han will be able to take the last card off of Kessel Run whenever he wants. So he can complete it kind of at his leisure. Now the question is going to be how Brett can come back and kind of handle this situation. Because his attacks are kind of rough. Although he has pretty good destiny here. There's a Kier Kanos and a bunch of red cards. So he's got good battle destinies to attack with. One of the things he needs to be aware of is moving to attack position. On both ships, on either ship rather, it's going to make them immune to attrition and be +2 power. And attrition is really the tool that Brett has to kind of take them down. They're both drawing multiple destinies. It's actually not Wedge, it's Theron Net on the Pulsar Skate. Wedge slightly better on the Pulsar Skate, but Theron Net's good too. And the big thing was just getting 2 smugglers there to draw 2 destinies. Alright, so Brett's going to deploy Blizzard 8 to the docking bay on Tatooine. Probably with a Veers to follow. Yep, there's General Veers. So now that is a immune less than 6 walker that draws 2 destinies on its own. And a lot of power. And Wirfs has to be worried about trample and all kinds of stuff. His 2 high ability smugglers have already been deployed. Those would be Mara and Corrin. So, and we're going to pull resistance. That is what we talked about before, to take away the drain bonus on Kessel, so it's only a drain of 2. Brett is still looking at taking 5 damage in drains next turn, on top of Chris being able to complete the Kessel run and retrieve 4. And then if it is Kira up on the Falcon, he'll be able to do another ping when he drains. So instantly Chris is going to retrieve a Kessel run here with his Kessel run. You can do more than one in a game. So Brett looks like he's going to play another card. Oh, okay. He's got Magistrate Morgan Elspeth. Card from the new set. She's got a bunch of text that, unfortunately, I don't think does anything here. Let's see. Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth. While present at a battleground site, you control more systems than opponent. Drain +1. That is not going to happen. And power defense +1 while Thrawn is at a system with parsec greater than 5. Thrawn's on the ground, so she's still a solid character, though. Good power 4 fit. She's power 4, ability 4, so good strong character, threatening to drain for 1 here. Looks like Brett just passed after playing that. Maybe drew a card or 2, but he still saved a couple of force, so he's got a lot of characters in his hand. Wow. I'm not already. He's got a lot of cards in hand. So we're going to drain 1. Oh, yeah. Chris again forgot that he was supposed to take a card off of Kessel Run on Brett's turn. They get it right now. Now, Chris presumably did not want to retrieve on Brett's turn because Brett does have the arrest order combo, so he'd have to pay for the retrieval. He probably didn't have 4, but now he does. So Brett's going to have to take these drains. We know he had pretty good Destiny in his reserve deck. He's lost 3 5s so far, 4 5s so far. There's the other National Moo combo. Now, it being in the lost pile is not a disaster for Brett because he can swap it with Insignificant Rebellion. So Chris retrieves 1 with Celebration and then completes the Kessel Run, paying 4 to retrieve 4, and then Brett has Imbalance combo to make him lose 2. So with that Master Move being in the Lost Pile so that Brett can swap it back, Chris is actually kind of incentivized to not... oh, no, I guess it's not Kira. Okay, I don't know what character is up there with Han right now. Looks like a 2-word name. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, what I was saying is Chris is kind of incentivized to not battle now because Brett does need a battle destiny to be drawn in order to do that swap. So Chris is doing 5 damage now against Brett doing 6. Chris does retrieve 1 though, so it's actually pretty even. So Chris is going to use his objective to play control tunnel vision from Lost. Interesting timing on that. I guess Chris probably is recalibrating his turn. That looks like a fifth brother on the front of Brett's hand. Pretty good card in this matchup, as it limits forfeits from being increased, which talent card and the objective, the flip side of a Watch Your Step, do. All right, well, Chris is trying to decide on what he's gonna do here. You can see that shiny foil slip, the Kira foil slip on top of Chris's Lost pile. You can help the PC enter in some exclusive cool foil slips in the process yourself. All you have to do is subscribe to the PC's Twitch channel. Go to twitch.tv/StarWarsCCGPC and click the subscribe button. If you have Amazon Prime already, then you get one free subscription a month, and you can use that to subscribe to the channel. You earn slips for subscriptions of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then every 6 months after. Further details are on the forum, forum.starwarsccg.org. Go to the announcement section and read up on the featured posts on the Twitch subscription incentive program and how to claim the slips. So some pretty cool ones in there. I don't have Amazon Prime personally, which is the biggest reason that I haven't done it, but I know there's some good objectives on there. I Want That Map. I think Old Allies as well. Some really cool cards on there. I don't think really anything has happened yet. Chris is still making his plays. If there is an attack to be made, Thrawn is probably the best one. And then you can flip back. Oh, okay. So we got Wedge going down to the Tatooine docking bay against Veers. They're pointing out here. Something to do with that mystery third character that's with Han Solo. Ooh. And then Master Luke V. That is a pretty devastatingly bad card for Brett here. And then another character, probably a smuggler of some kind. So Master Luke V. Elor's Maddock, which he took into hand from the Kessel Run. So the tricky thing with Master Luke V, reduces total battle destiny to 0 unless Darkseid has an ability for a greater character. So even though Veers gets to draw 2 destiny, has a ton of power, he is not going to have any battle destiny. So he's going to have a command, so there's only going to be 1 destiny here. But that is not going to go the way that this is not going to go the way that Brett would have wanted. Now, I was going to say, I kind of wonder if it might have been better to do this on Raltier. Oh, and he draws a 7. Oh, wow. Brett's going to draw his destiny anyway, just so you can see them and track them around. But the 7 is actually going to clear Veers and the Walker. Wow, that was great. Now, I wonder, though, if Chris had that tracked. I just know he needs to Gick. Oh, he's going to use the Gick to swap for the Masterful, I believe. Is that? Yeah, it's the Masterful. Okay. That's not where it goes. Gets grabbed. Yeah. Pretty effective. Now, what I was thinking is, I wonder if the better plan would have been to go after... he may not have had the force to attack at the docking bay. I was thinking he could go after the docking bay with Master Luke, but he probably didn't have the force for it. Although if he knew the 7 was there, the 7 would have killed both of the characters, and then you could move a ship over and flip ROPS back, which would have made all of your battling much easier. So he can still transit over, but he won't have the surprise factor of that. So he was probably trying to get some additional celebration going and see if Brett saw the play. It is very possible that Chris has more than one celebration. So this is not necessarily going to be the end of the celebrating. We know he has another Castle Run too, so we could always retrieve it back with Castle Run as another possibility. He is going to be taking 5 damage and drains here, but he is going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back. Pretty good. And he already got to retrieve 5, so. I know I said before, Watch Your Step doesn't often run 7s. Well, it can run relatively unprotected. That's a very good one. So losing a bunch of red cards, like Cantina Brawl on top, and then there was a few maneuvers. So Brett rechecking his destinies. He didn't actually have to. There are only 3 cards, so we knew they had to be Imbalance, Command, Kyrkanos in that order. Well, that order bottom to top, but possibly didn't want the Kyrkanos and couldn't activate more, so we wanted to shuffle it up, try to get the 4 on top. Also, it's a long day, and it's easy for me in the commentary chair to go, oh yeah, well, I remember what the 3 cards are, but who knows? Also, at majors like these, there's often a lot of gaming to happen on Saturday night, so who knows how much sleep either of these players got. Brett, still a handful of options. Just needs to decide which way he wants to go on this. There's a Blizzard 4 to pull Kyrkanos. He does need to pay 2 for the Kyrkanos, which he will. Okay. Now, I don't know if Brett realizes that he will still not get a Battle Destiny here. Or he will, or rather, his total will be reduced to 0, because Master Luke needs a character of ability 4. So even though Blizzard 4's permanent pilots have a total of ability 4, that does not count. They are not a character. And there's the 5th brother that we were talking about. Okay, cool. So that'll cover that. Now, we know that Chris's list yesterday had both Master Luke V and... Oh. We had both Master Luke V and a Luke with Lightsaber V. So there's a possibility he would just lose Luke here. But then Brett plays this Coarse, Rough, and Irritating, the Sand Effect, and just stacks both the cards left in his reserve deck. Which is interesting, because now he cannot battle. I guess he probably wasn't planning on it. He's just going to pay maintenance, get Kyrkanos out. Oh, he's going to move Elspeth over. Okay. And then draw. Shall we assume he got Kyrkanos out? Now that takes away a damage on Brett's side and takes away 1 on Wirfs' side as well. Cantina Brawl as well really kind of means that he's not going to the Cantina. We're not gonna deal with that. I don't believe Brett has paid maintenance yet. We'll see if Robbie can get over there before they correct it themselves. Brett's losing some to drains. Jedi Levitation V. So this recently got errated. This is not a retrieval now. Yep, there's the maintenance. This is now just take a character into hand from Lost. I would guess Kira. Kira makes the most sense to me. Yeah, that is Kira on board the Falcon. So that's going to add an extra damage. Oh, it was Chewie. It was Chewie the whole time. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. Should have probably realized it was Chewbacca. Alright, so I think he's moving his pilots around. Probably trying to play around Vader's shuttle with Vader aboard. This Vader's shuttle requires you to have, I believe it's 4 ability. Or no, I believe it's 5, sorry. Of course. Vader's personal shuttle, non-V is the one that's used in this deck most commonly. Have to have ability greater than 5. So he can kind of leave it however he wants on the Pulsar skate because Mirrex draws if unable. So he'll at least be able to draw 1 no matter what. But he wants to move the pilots around so that he has enough ability to draw Battle Destiny at Kessel if the shuttle comes down. I would presume he probably has the moving to attack position, so it doesn't really matter that he loses 3 power with Chewie not being there. So he moves everybody over away from that big power stack at the docking bay, which makes sense. He's now moving them over to Route here. He is still covering up a drain, but now he's threatening. He's threatening some small power characters over there. And he may be considering the fact that Brett still needs another ability 4 character over there to draw Destiny, and he has a bunch of them committed on Tatooine and other locations. Now, Spaceport Street will let him move Inquisitor over, so it's not completely free. But and he got Lebo out as well on Pulsar Skate. So now Wirfs has actually upped his damage by quite a bit. So we're going to play a command to, I think, just search. I don't imagine he has another one. Okay. Sun, Tarkin, Blizzard's got one. Pretty common cards for route tier operations. Notably, the shuttle I don't think was in there. I should have looked more carefully for it. And then Chris is going to draw some. So now, Chris is threatening 8 damage against 1, 2, 3, 4. Chris is picking up his reserve deck for something. Probably an All Wings, be my guess. Didn't see the card that got put in used. Oh. Emperor checks the deck, and there's one of the Raltier sites as well as Tarkin and a command in reserve. That's not great. You want better than that. Chris is debating what to lose for his drains. Oh, Brett's going to activate one more first. You know, we talked previously about following the PC channel for Amazon, but you know you can also support the Players Committee with existing Amazon purchases. If you shop using Smiled on Amazon.com while supporting a Players Committee well, sporting it's Players Committee Inc. is what it is. Morrisville, Pennsylvania, and a portion of your purchase will automatically be donated to the PC. Now I understand the Smile program is going away soon, so do that soon if you're going to. But it's a good way to help out the Players Committee, and the Amazon way, both the Twitch and the Smile are pretty low cost to you to the consumer, as I understand it. So. All right, leave Chris's coverage drains now. He does have a blast the door kid on top, so the Cantina really not a good place to fight. Now, interesting. I wonder. I assume it's not. And then it could be worse as well. Yeah, I was curious. Spaceport docking bay is one of the docking bays that is exterior only. It is not exterior interior, which many of them are. Trample. What is happening with that? Oh, he has to play the walker first. Okay. I presume wedge. Wedge is the highest forfeit, so. Did Chris lose a perimeter scan? That would be great. I know you can't sense while Watch Your Step is on the 7 side, but a perimeter scan would be heck of a card. Okay, so you cannot do that. Wait. Why is no character dead? Did he miss? I guess he had the 0 in there. That would be wild if he missed. It was a 50-50 chance. I might have even waited, like... Oh, he had the 4... He activated 1, so... It's like a third 30% chance. 33. Well, this battle is still no good, though, because there still needs to be an ability 4 character, so you can't fight at the Spaceport docking bay. Man, Master Luke is... Master Luke really puts a hurt on Rail tier operations, because they have a lot of cheap Imperials, but because of that, a limited number of ability 4 ones. Did he initiate? Did he say he was battling? No, I think not. A transit over so that he can now cancel Luke's text with Blizzard Scout. Okay. And then we're going to move them over, and them over, and them over. You can't do that. You got to pay 1 for that. Yeah. So now he's got Thrawn there so he can command. He's got the 2 walkers, so he's got just a ton of power. See, I wonder now if Chris has 2 more smugglers to kill the Inquisitor, he can then move over and flip Brett back, which would be wild. Some more move? Oh, they're moving into the Cantina. Wow. Okay. So they are shutting down some damage. Chris is still going to do 6 because of the 2 Dream 2 systems and then the Kessel Run effects. I believe he's using Mirax here. Is he trying to set up a Cantina brawl? It would be awkward because he does have ability 5 and ability 4 character in the Cantina. You know what he could do, though, is he could have it set up and then not do it, wait for Brett to activate down to where he thinks he wants to battle. Brett still needs to pay maintenance. Ah, there he goes. But what he could do is he could set it all up. Ooh, this is a 6. That's a bummer. He could set it all up, and then 4 should be 6. 2 more. And then he could save the Cantina Brawl. This is Blizzard 1. He could save the Cantina Brawl to disrupt Brett's turn, where Brett activates down to what he wants to do, and then you Cantina Brawl to make him use one more than he meant to. That'd be an interesting play. Fifth Brother's ability 5, right? I think so. The Inquisitors are, except for third. Yeah, it's ability 5. So Chris could also set up a 5 here, move Mara over to Mos Eisley, and then Cantina Brawl on the battle. Dash and Outrider. Yep. Probably to Corellia, I would guess. You could even just stand there. Brett's in not a great spot here, because he's been out damaged all around, and he's only doing 3 now. He's been out damaged for a while, and he's now also he's getting out retrieved. Like, what? Oh, this is a verified reserve. Okay. Oh no, he's Kessler running. Oh no, it's another Kessler run. Oh, Dash just got deployed. He didn't get matched. Okay. He went to Mos Eisley. Ah, yeah, so I think Mara's going to move over. We're going to put the 5. No, he's going to put the 4 in there. And then move move Corrin over so he doesn't have a 4. And then you can Cantina Brawl. Wild. It's just wild. You should have probably moved first. But that's fine. Oh, Thrawn can just follow? Okay. Yeah, Thrawn can just follow. He's considering whether he wants to do that. Oh, Thrawn actually I think says any rebel, or any Imperial, right? Grand Admiral Thrawn V. If a rebel just moved from here, your Imperials present may follow that character using man speed. So any Imperial present, yeah. So he's going to move Kir Kanos. Which is reasonable. All right. Brett's getting pretty low here. 1, 2. I think Brett may only have 7 force down now. Yeah, it looks like 7 to me. That is not much. It's kind of tough to do things. That sand effect might actually end up hurting him. It just caused 2 damage. We'll see if he can get into positions where he can pull cards off of it, but there's the perimeter scan. Chris is losing 3 to drains here. Moving to attack position is the other one. And control tunnel vision is the last one. Could not see where those cards came from, but Brett is in a tight spot here. I don't know how he's going to turn this around. He like has to block a drain in space. Is kind of really what we're looking at here. Only 2 cards saved. He took 1 into hand from something. I'm not sure what. Maybe Ember? Did he actually have a Force Lightning? Looks like I miscounted. He has 6 Force. But he's got to use 1 on Blizzard 4, so... No, he's just going to fight. Brett gets first actions. He gets to take a card off. Probably imbalance. That makes sense. Chris does not have any interest in Cantina Brawling. This is 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. So Brett certainly wins this battle by a lot, but he's got... Is it 3 or small card 2? I suppose it wouldn't matter, but... Wild card is 2. Okay. So he's going to lose Elspeth for the attrition. Oh. And Chris plays Old Ben. He loses Mara to cover and uses Old Ben to get her back. Oh, man. That's not good. That's not what you want if you're Brett. I wonder if he's just going to battle again just to get the command in a hand, just so he has more cards. He's running out of time to do something like that. Yep, he's going to battle again and just pull off sand. It's like not exactly the way that you want to use sand. It's fine. It's doing its job, but it's a little awkward. He draws the 2 against the 4. So, yeah. Cure can also cover. He's going to forfeit Luke because now he has 2 Battle Destiny. And now he can Luke with Lightsaber. Ooh, that could be bad. Oh no, he's going to lose Ellers. Okay. So, I mean, Brett retrieved 2 in that battle essentially, getting 2 cards off sand, but now he's in a position where he can't stop it, right? He has to let Chris draw 2 Destiny in battles if he wants to. He's going to draw more cards. I wonder if he just concede, so drawing up doesn't make sense. He's going to pay his maintenance, remember now. Still saving 1. A barrier, maybe? Barrier would make a lot of sense. Alright, so Chris now is going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. There's 1, 3, 4. He's just going to concede. Okay. I am not sure what is being explained to the players here by somebody off screen, but yeah, Brett's just going to concede. So well played game by Chris. Chris knows how to get the most out of this Watch Your Step deck. So very nicely played game. Lots of stuff happened. I do not know how close we are to time now on this game. I don't have an estimate for that. Okay, so I did hear we are not going to do a lunch round. They're just going to power through all 4 games, which makes sense to me. Might want a lunch break after the 4 games. So yeah, that'll be us for the moment here. while they're packing up here, if you need information on upcoming online or in-person events, you can keep up to date across all news and notes of the Star Wars customizable card game by following our Twitter account, which is at SWCCG. I know there's been announcements for this event. There's not like round to round, but there is like look at coverage and that kind of stuff. So definitely keep up to date on that. I'm going to pause for a moment here. We'll kind of leave it on the empty table for the moment. I'm gonna I'll come up with another one here that'll kind of be our pause screen for the moment, and then we will just come back once we are done, or once we're ready for the next one. So, let's see how I can. Give me a second here while I mess with this and figure out Streamlabs on the fly.